Tom's got it. Tommy's still got it. I'm not sure if anyone was on the other side of the fence thinking like he doesn't have it. I don't know if there's any like small minority folk who are thinking he doesn't still have it, but I can confirm he's still got it.
He's got the looks. He's got the strength. He's got the wit. He's got it all.
Got the charm.
Total package.
It really is a total package. And this Ethan Hunt guy, it's just like the movie still got it. The Mission Impossible, you think it'd be impossible to still be this good. But I guess that's why they're the Impossible Mission Force.
You think after 7 times of seeing the world about to end and Ethan Hunt accepts the mission, having to save everybody, puts the masks on.
No, I can't say that because I thought about it earlier. I was thinking maybe the reason why this franchise is so good still is because they kind of were like a toddler walking in the beginning. The first one was really good, and they stumbled in the second one. They found their footing on the third one, right? I was like, maybe they need that little bit of humility to it, where Tom is like, never again, okay?
Well, I was going to say you think after that many times it's been boring, but it's still fucking...
Okay, but then I was going to say that argument doesn't work. I wasn't done talking, so thank you for making sure to get your thing in there.
Either, so.
And to say how, but then again, the Fast and Furious had the same track record of the first one being really good, the second one being really, really bad, and the third one being pretty cool again. But those movies aren't that good anymore. So I guess that doesn't... Unless maybe it's just you can't get to... Maybe we all need to sit down and admit that, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is too many installments.
Probably. I think Mission Impossible should try it anyways. Just to see
Mission Impossible should try it anyway. I agree, honestly. Because you know what? You know what we need? Everyone's saying it's the first part of a finale. I know that's blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But like, why can't it be Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then Part 2, and then Part 3, and then Part 4, and Part 5? Like, really, how it could take a while. It could be a slow death. Though, I will say, even though I thought the movie was really, really good, about the last 10 minutes of the movie, I kind of got a feeling. Now, I didn't look at the time, I just had a feeling. My internal clock was saying, we're nearing the end. And then I started reflecting, I was like, wait, we really are nearing the end. And like, it's going to end like now. And then it just kind of ended abruptly.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I know it's a part 1 and all, but a little part of me was kind of like, this kind of feels like a part 1. It was really enjoyable and really good, but I also feel like nothing actually happened to the point where like...
These are my thoughts. I was going to say all
I get that. I mean, I have a feeling, though, I'll put my money on this one. Part 2 is going to be even better, and when Part 1 and Part 2 are both out, watching Part 1 and Part 2 together might be the coolest movie of all time.
That's true. I didn't even consider that fact, because I also thought that... I understand it's Part 1 of Part 2, so it's going to end abruptly. It's going to be mostly built up into the second half, I think, but I felt like, fun movie, great movies, great watching, but like it just felt like nothing really happened.
Maybe they should have spent 15 minutes more on having more of a resolution that could have felt like an ending, even though we know there's more to come.
I feel like it should have...
And then they could have removed the first 15 minutes in which it was just completely incoherent psychobabble that was not at all enjoyable to listen to or watch or partake in or experience.
Yeah, it was 15 minutes of...
Those first 15 minutes, I was like, am I watching like X2 or something? Like, what is going on with this submarine thing and this terrible acting and all these weird guys
in the middle of the desert, and there's this giant sandstorm. What is going on?
I'm like,
here?
what am I watching? This isn't mission. This is a possible mission. Okay, this isn't an impossible mission.
Is this even one of the? Is this the
and
movies
also that
short?
first 15 minutes? Okay, this franchise does not get to establish a cold open that does not end in which I'm like, oh my god, the Russian guy was Tom Cruise the entire time.
I know. I thought that was gonna happen.
You can't show me. You can't make me watch a dumb scene for 15 minutes and then not save it by saying actually all that bullshit was cool because it was actually Tom Cruise. Like for instance, when that little Weasley fucking creep came in the room, and when they're having their meeting with Carrie out, when fucking Robin Hood Men in Tights was delivered because he runs the fucking. Like, we need someone who is, like, like, stately, like a statesman. Like, someone who's, like, scholarly. It could be, like, a political guy, like Cary Ellis. The guy from Saw.
Hey, Max, it's the claw.
The guy can't even do that right, okay? I'm glad he got his fucking throat slit, okay?
I thought it was so weird he was in the role just to be in
That was super weird, too. But then I realized it's kind of his thing. Psych comes in the show, gets killed. This thing comes in the show, gets killed. That Brooke Shields movie on Netflix, I don't know how it ends.
He doesn't get killed.
Maybe he gets killed. Maybe the last 5 seconds he gets his throat fucking slit. I don't know.
Again, I thought that Game of Thrones chick was going to be like a big player because it's the Game of Thrones chick, and she was in 30 seconds of it. And also super like...
Who?
The
sand. Yeah. She was hot. She looked good.
She looked great.
Those legs? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Her part was so annoying. That whole scene, I was like,
I already erased that. Dude, everything that wasn't with Tom Cruise was so irrelevant to everything. It was despicable, okay?
I know. It
was honestly
so
offensive.
Weird.
And I understand why, all right? When you're going to have that much charisma on screen, how do you balance the scenes without it?
Not that way.
But no, for instance, like I said, that creepy little guy that was in the scenes, and I kept thinking in the first 15 minutes they were going to end it with, it's actually Ethan. He's actually there.
Yeah.
that little Weasley guy who came in there, he was so creepy. No one was paying. I thought, like, is this guy a terrorist? I got to the point where he was so weird. I'm like, no, that can't possibly Ethan. This guy has to be an actual terrorist. And then it is Ethan, and he takes his mask off, right? And I was like, you know what? That was worth focusing on that little fucking weirdo because it ended up being Tom Cruise. Well, it just reminded me of how terrible the first 15 minutes were in that opening part.
Yeah, when we the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh my god, this isn't going to be good. I'm not going to like this movie. I really didn't think it was going to be good at all.
We need more people taking it. Actually, no, not only do we need more scenes in that movie, you think you need less at this point. Because like, how many times can it work? I'll tell you how many times it can work. All the times they try. That's exactly how many times it will work. That face reveal works every time. I kind of wish they didn't do it so casually at this point.
But it works every time.
It still works every time, but like it was cooler when like they also seem impressed by it. They seem a little. I don't like how. I get that the audience has become desensitized to, but I don't like how the characters seem desensitized to it, as if they don't think it's a fucking marvelous thing they're doing. They're kind of like, yeah, you know, it's just whatever. It's a little fucking thing in a box. You literally
put on an exact replica of his face and sound like him, and match his height and build somehow.
But
why
here's
are you
something
not
I can say:
amazed?
this movie did no other movie ever did before so well. Okay. I always thought it was cool seeing Tom Cruise take off someone's face, right? I never knew how sexy it was, okay? And here's why. Because when you think of it, I'm like, you know, Tom Cruise, Philip Seymour Hoffman ripping off his face and being Tom Cruise, is like, that's cool. Seeing fucking Vanessa Kirby's face come off and be Haley Atwell awoke something within me, okay? I discovered a new fantasy, okay? That's the new goal. That's why I haven't found the right woman yet. I need a woman who's two women simultaneous at the same time. So it's either I go that route with the Mission Impossible face morphing, or a little more dystopian way about it called the Blade Runner 2049 approach, where it's like a hologram inside of the woman, you know? It's one or the other.
That's a tough choice to make.
I feel like the immersion's a lot better with those movie quality masks, because you remember in Blade Runner they start glitching out a little bit here and there, and that was really creepy.
The immersion for me.
Yeah, and that might break me out of character here, what we're trying to get done. I like to really fall into the story.
Did they ever have it before where the person's eye color didn't match?
No.
Yeah. That
came up in conversation. I thought that was a problem with it, because first of all, how the hell does Vanessa Kirby look equally stunning?
I know.
With the brightest blue of the blue eyes and the darkest of the brown eyes.
That's great. She's a complex woman.
She's a complex. She's a varietied woman. She's a varietal. No, really though, I was perplexed by that, because like her brother, there was one problem. There's two problems really, because one of the problems was the twins, but the first problem was the eyes, which is the more important one. Haley Atwell, gorgeous brown eyes. Vanessa Kirby, gorgeous blue eyes. Her brother, who I'm just assuming they're twins based on the relationship that's presented on the screen.
Yeah, I feel like they were twins too.
So let's say they're twins. I could be wrong, but either way, they're related. They know each other.
A little bit, kind of casually, but they know each other.
And it's like they're in a dark, dim-lit pub. No, they're in a fucking train with windows on all sides and perfect lighting coming in. He's staring at her 2 inches from her face, making direct eye contact, and he's like, "Yep, that's my sister."
She's always had those beautiful brown eyes.
She's always had those beautiful, deep, dark brown eyes. God, I always love that about her.
Those soulful brown chocolate eyes.
Yeah, I always wish I had eyes like that. Wait, no, I remember explicitly they used to always say, like, when the pictures of us as babies, that you have the exact same. Hold on a second. Then he turns around and he walks to the bathroom. He's like, excuse me. And that's why he didn't realize the reason he didn't figure it out because he had to go to the bathroom and his whole world was shook. He went into the train car and he's like, no, my eyes are blue. Hold on a second.
You know, hold on, you pointed this out.
Either her eyes aren't actually brown and something's up, or I'm remembering my entire childhood wrong. And he landed on him. I'm remembering my entire childhood wrong.
But then at the end, where I guess the guy was a CIA operative, whoever that fucking cockchef, whatever that guy's name,
it was Cocksleeve.
Whoever Cocksleeve was,
deputy.
He's like, go
director.
get her. And
he's a deputy director Cocksleeve. Okay,
deputy director Cocksleeve. It's like, get after her, and the brother goes, who? How the one that looks like your sister wasn't your sister? You can't put the context clues together.
Dude, he's still no, because he's shutting down. He's in the bathroom freaking out. He still doesn't come to terms. He's just one of those actors. That guy. He's one of those actors. I think he had a weird name like Colo or something. I think that guy. He's just one of those. You know, it's the behind the scenes that he creates for his characters, where it's like he has a manuscript, Matthew McConaughey style, for something that aren't even on the show. He's writing his character has a whole entire. He's lived that person's life thousands of times over at this point before the cameras even start rolling. He's that much of a professional. Which when you think, wow, Alex,
comes down his work.
You think he'd have better performances on the screen. It's like, well, honestly, it's kind of like when they talk about football players when they're like, you know, I worked out so hard to get to the regular season, and I'm burnt out by week 3. It's like this guy works so hard in preparation for the character. By the time he's actually on the screen, he's kind of burnt out with it. He's kind of sick of the character at that point. He hasn't found that right balance yet. But no, I don't know. This movie is. I can say this. It's quite possibly the sexiest.
The Mission Impossible.
It's quite possibly the sexiest per capita of the Mission Impossible movies, because as far as sex in Mission Impossible movie, I still think the cake has to go to that one individual shot of Rebecca Ferguson putting her leg up on the thing.
I know. That is, yeah.
That stops world wars.
She's the MIF. No, she's the IMF queen. Impossible Mission Force Queen.
That was the lamest thing. You should have been like, I thought it was going to turn into like an FBI, female body inspector joke. I didn't think you were going to then say the actual abbreviation. Hey guys, check out how clever I am. I said the thing in the thing, and then I said she's a queen at the end of it. Aren't I funny?
Well, you know what, dude?
But the amount of sex appeal is honestly astonishing. Haley Atwell is Haley Atwell. Rebecca Ferguson, I'd sell the family farm for. Okay? Fucking Vanessa Kirby has it all going on, and Palm was a sexy little firecracker.
She did it for me.
Yeah, that white makeup smeared look, I was like, again, I'll add that to the list of things this movie taught me I like about women. I didn't go into it thinking like, wow, I'm going to redefine my standards.
You know, before I went to the movie, I never thought I'd want to be in a back alley and have a girl absolutely beat the shit out of me.
Now I understand the appeal.
I would love it if she beat the shit out of me.
Now I get why rich guys pay women to smack them. It all makes sense. All right, all it took was a dimly lit fucking alley in Venice and Tom Cruise being manhandled by a woman half his size. Now I get it.
Something awoke in me today.
That happened too, dude. Dude, not even kidding. I wrote down that exact verbiage, which isn't that uncommon of a thing to say. Something awoke within me.
Well, you said
but specifically,
it before. So I said it.
I wrote down on my notes when I was watching the movie. I was like, Vanessa Kirby's head in a box. That's awoke something in with me. I feel like the dean from Community. I was like, wow, that's an interesting thing I've never seen before. Honestly, I'd hell of a lot rather open a box and see her head over fucking the goop.
Won't we all?
Yeah, honestly. The movie, though, like I said, pretty fucking good. The first 15 sucked. That one shot of Ethan staying in the Venice sunset, just reflecting on life for an uncomfortable like 14, 15 seconds until Rebecca Ferguson finally graces with their presence again, which was, again, too short of a time to be on the screen.
Yeah. And
by too short of a time, like, what do you mean? She should be like a couple more scenes before she got axed? No, I'm saying it's like every frame of the film, if she could be in it, that movie's winning Oscars.
It's pretty Walking Dead of them to fake her death from the opening
and then
shitty 15 minutes.
I thought it was a little cheap.
And just kill her anyway.
I thought it was a little cheap. Because honestly, when they killed her, I literally said, what the fuck?
I figured they'd kill her because Haley Atwell came into this.
Dude,
and it's like you can't have that many hot chicks on screen.
No, there can be. This isn't Highlander, okay? there can only be one. No, there can be multiple women, okay? Where's Michelle Monaghan? Where's Wes Bentley?
They said goodbye. I thought he was going to show up. Dude, that thing.
Where the fuck is Wes Bentley?
That bomb thing in the beginning that just said you were done at the start.
Yeah.
I thought that was the cylinder that Wes Bentley made for some reason. I thought he was going to be the big bad.
No, for some reason we just can't. For some reason we just can't have him in the movie. What a lunatic Christopher McQuarrie. If they're not in the part, if Michelle Monaghan's not in part 2,
didn't he say like goodbye to her, like ta-ta for now?
If you're telling me that part 2 is Rebecca Ferguson-less and Michelle Monaghan-less, honestly, I'm not gonna be a very happy viewer.
It felt cheap to her.
Tom Cruise gonna have to jump off at least 2 mountains then for me to enjoy that movie. If there's not,
make it 3.
Make it 3, because by process of elimination, exactly right. We need one more to make it fair again. Because how cool is a fucking mountain comparatively to these women? It's not that cool.
Yeah, honestly, did you fucking ride your mouse off a mountain?
That's not cool. All right, how about some more Rebecca Ferguson putting her leg onto the fucking? That's not this proper shooting technique.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I have to just snipe this man? Well, I'm in a sexy dress. I might as well show off my legs while I'm doing it.
Have you ever shot a sniper?
Not in a yellow dress.
So stop talking out your ass.
That's a good point. Talk about the things you know. That's very fair. Honestly, I apologize. Honestly, why would I want to tell everything she does is right all the time?
I thought that, first of all, I get that Haley Atwell is also beautiful. Rebecca Ferguson's beautiful. And I really chick Ethan Hunt happens to stumble upon is always beautiful. But does he have to fall in love with all of them immediately? It's
a little upsetting. No, it was actually pretty cool when he stopped liking Thandie Newton because that movie sucked.
Yeah, but no, we're not talking about the second one. The second one didn't happen. We're talking about this one.
Yeah, the good ones.
Okay, he's in love with Rebecca Ferguson. Haley Atwell comes on the screen. I'm in love with Haley Atwell. Rebecca Ferguson just died.
Well, no, what's really dumb is... I don't even know. I feel like it was Tom Cruise. I don't even know if it's Tom Cruise.
Hey, I didn't finish my point.
Yes.
It felt cheap. And she should have died at the end of the movie to make the whole fucking accumulation come together.
But then if she died at the end of the movie, Haley Atwell wouldn't have been so inclined and felt the need to try to, not let her die in vain and help them.
All right, fine.
So I'm glad you got to your point. Haley Atwell. Oh no, Rebecca Ferguson. It's dumb because he loved Michelle Monaghan, but the whole story was, well, he can't love her because she's just a civilian. She's a fucking loser. All right, she's not fucking cool enough to be with fucking Ethan Hunt.
Who is?
And it's like, all right, fine, I can accept that. It's a little upsetting, but there's always Kiss Bang Bang I can throw on again, so it's fine. But then, when we get introduced to the fucking, the dream girl, the ultimate sexy spy queen, so it's like, oh, you know what, he can't have Michelle Monaghan, but he found his sexy spy slut, right? But then, no, he can't have her either. Apparently, she has to get killed, so then he can go back to, now he's like an in-betweener kind of guy.
Yeah.
I guess it's the whole, that's, you know what, Haley Atwell has to be the final girl, because then it's the whole entire Goldilocks thing, where it's like, this one's too much of a civilian, this one's too much of a CIA operative, or it questions my masculinity. This one's a criminal who can kind of challenge me a little bit, but she doesn't know a lot, so I can still have that whole, like...
just right.
It's just this one's just right.
Yeah, Mission Impossible has actually been an allegory for finding the perfect girl.
And
you know, find a woman that's right for you. That's what it's about.
That's the kind of shit that Tom Cruise brings to performances you don't even realize until years later,
He's just that good of an actor.
He's just that good of an actor. He really is.
He's such a movie star that the scenes that don't involve Tom Cruise are the worst scenes in the movie.
Unwatchable.
Almost unwatchable.
Honestly, completely unwatchable.
And actually, the creepy guy coming in was kind of unwatchable, but then when it turned to be Tom Cruise, like, oh, it was just Tom Cruise standing there.
Now I'm okay with all that.
It's cool. I watched
it was all worth it.
Tom Cruise was there.
Because now next time I watch it, I can just erase that ugly little face from my head and just picture it's Tom Cruise. It's just Tommy Cruise. And also, again, it was pretty cool at the end when he then is like, how are you get out of here, Ethan? And he's like, I'm going to use your face, bitch. That was awesome. But again, I don't like how the guy's reaction was like, yeah, of course.
Also, the Coxleave, Deputy General Coxleave.
Deputy Director
Coxleave. I'm sorry, Deputy
My
Director.
name is Deputy Director Coxleave of the United
sir.
States. Is he CIA? I guess he's the IMF, that guy?
CIA, who knows about the IMF? Was he a bad guy at the end? Or no? Because they kind of implied and they brushed it off, and it was like, maybe he's just doing it for the greater good. I kept thinking
they wanted that guy who was in that Mark Wahlberg movie, Spencer Confidential, got his head cut off. That bald guy.
Oh, yeah,
who was in Ozark.
He's not in Ozark.
Yeah, he was. He was the variant of Ozark. Remember, he was the FBI director who
brokered
the deal.
Okay. No, that's not the same guy either. You keep confusing this. No, that's fucking Landry's dad. That's not the same guy.
They're all the same. They're all bald guys. They're all bald. Shut up. What is this? What is this? Fucking, I don't know. Movie kicked ass, though. I think I did feel a little robbed, like I said, how it kind of felt like it was, just a movie.
Yeah, because really all it was 15 minutes of incoherentness. Then we had this really long sequence. I'm sorry. Then we had that scene where Tom Cruise is in a mask. Then it's this long sequence at the airport. Then it's this long sequence with a Fiat.
Yeah.
Then it's this random scene of us explaining the rules to Haley Atwell. And it's this long scene on a train. And now the movie's over. Don't blink too fast. It's gonna be over.
Yeah. So, and also, not only did it fucking end abruptly, where as in the event the story just stopped, it also literally ended abruptly in the sense where it wasn't like the Terminator fucking dun and then it shows some extra footage. It's like, no, we're cutting to black. It's over. Here's the credits. It's like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It just said it literally just went, okay, it's over. We're done. And part one. But yeah, I didn't like that it was so just we ran out of film today, so I guess we're just not going to show the rest of this one.
That's a little annoying. Also, I still don't like that Rebecca Ferguson got axed, like I said. I don't like that fucking La Bamba's brother put her down. It's like she could have won that fight. She should have won that fight.
I forgot he was even in the movie because all the beautiful women.
You know how many times I wrote down on my phone East Side on every single thing? Whenever you on the screen, I wrote that down as a note. That's my boy. And it was crazy seeing because it's like 1,000%. It wasn't The Brink. I loved him in The Brink. It wasn't The Brink that got on this part. It was definitely Christopher McQuarrie watching Ozark, saying, yo, Del, what's up? It's actually East Side. Like, okay, well, I'm going to call you either La Bamba or Del. You can call me Del. My point is, though, he was good in it.
Yeah, I kept going back and forth, though. I thought he was great in it, but I didn't necessarily buy him fighting against anybody.
That was true. I didn't like him.
And also,
Rebecca
Rebecca Ferguson,
guy.
that fucking witch magic leg twisting on your head now spider monkey shit she did.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
I think he stabbed her in the chest.
No, I know. How?
I don't know.
She was kicking his ass the entire time. And then
also,
he
where did the guy get so many knives?
Yeah,
when he was fighting Ethan, he's like, I have one in my sock. And I'm like, yeah, that's believable. And he's like, I have one behind my back. I'm like, okay, I guess you could carry 2 knives. And he's like, I have one in a wrist guard. I'm like, you have 3 knives on you? And he's like, I have one in my jacket. It's exactly. It's like, dude, where are these? So some people start pulling them out of his fucking mouth. Disgusting. It's too many knives, all right? Too many. That was the one thing I'll say this one didn't do that well. Too many times that things feel like these are. I get that he has this, this real Oppenheimer changing technology of this giant thing, which I couldn't tell if it was like a big bomb or just apparently just a big server. I guess I'm too much in the old age still.
It's a
Like,
Minecraft server, actually.
to me, saying a movie saying like the stakes are we have a new device that can change the internet. That's cool, I guess. But I kind of like hearing the idea of still saying like those commie fucks are going to nuke everyone. I'm like, yeah, let's get them.
Yeah, can we get back
let's
to the
fucking
tangible
get
things
them.
that we can understand?
All right, this whole internet shit's the fad's going to stop at some point. Okay, it's got to die eventually. So tell me the story of the grand stakes being, oh, no more. The world will end. It's like, I don't know. Would it? I think we just resort back. Everyone kind of it always says it takes 6 weeks to break a habit. The first 6 weeks would be rough.
You know, what I think the movie was actually about. You said with the world end.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that Tom Cruise is the last movie star.
Yeah. And
then the writers are on strike, the actors are on strike. Everyone's just like, we'll just use AI to create it.
Yeah.
That thing, the entity was just a big AI.
Oh,
and everyone's like,
honestly?
Tom Cruise is the only person that can kill it. Everyone just wants to use it for their power. Tom Cruise is like, I have to stop this.
Tom Cruise
the whole movie's just a message of Tom Cruise saving the world.
Performance
in
piece
Hollywood.
in art history.
Yeah, exactly. He's
And
actually saving Hollywood.
Instead of acting for part 2 as Ethan Hunt on a film, he's going to take on it's going to end with him. The camera's you're gonna be watching a cinematic experience the entire time where the camera's rolling. At the very end, it's like one of those things where just like, all right, guys, cut. And then the cameras kind of just drop a little bit. Now it becomes lower quality. And then Tom Cruise is going to assume the person of Ethan Hunt and live on as Ethan Hunt and get this world back on track.
Honestly, isn't he already consumed? We just watched how he did that motorcycle stunt.
That was awesome.
He just, as soon as he hits the ground, he starts clapping for everyone else.
I was jealous in that scene on the train when Haley Atwell was like,
oh my God,
the only thing in this world I can. She's like, she literally was holding him like she was in space and he was the only tether to the earth she had. Okay, and I was like, what does a man have to do to get that? 60 years in the business of amazing films? I guess I know what I gotta do now, right? But then I thought, you know what? No. Because after watching the stunt performance, he lands off of that stunt and says, you know what? I probably should have held the bike a little longer.
I know, what a fucking nut.
And he doesn't just fucking collapse from anxiety and nerves. I don't deserve to be touched that way. Only Tom Cruise does.
Dude, you think at the very least, say he's just that much of a... don't say, he clearly is much of a lunatic.
Yeah.
He's that much of a lunatic.
In the best way possible.
It's not,
no insults.
I'm sorry. Lunatic.
No insults.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
In the most attractive, linear, confident, and intelligent way. Tom Cruise.
There's honestly no other way to use that word when referring to Tom Cruise.
Exactly. Tom Cruise is just that guy.
I understand he's not even remotely nervous because he's Tom Cruise.
Right.
But how is the adrenaline not making him shake at all? He bowed down and thanked everybody.
I know.
He just did the stunt. He thanked them.
Thanks for coming out here, guys. It was like one last joke of this set and walking off. It's like, dude, you just fucking...
You've been a terrific audience. I love you. Thank you. Good night.
And he just walked off. And it's like, dude, you're crazy. I don't know, man. Del from Ozark, I thought was kind of... I'm looking through my notes again for a second. I just keep saying Esai all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they had Arby's. I thought that'd be funny at some point. Imagine if Ving Rhames was like, just eat. He's like, hold on, Ethan.
We have to get Arby's.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the meats. What are you talking? We gotta get the key.
He's like, I'm speaking in code to you, Ethan. So they don't know what we're saying. Remember when we went to Arby's?
They have the meats.
And it was really good. And it wasn't shitty like everyone says. It was actually really good. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember it was a phenomenal restaurant. It's like, wow, these movies really need money, I guess, or something.
Now you're saying, I think that's the 15 minutes, the incoherent babble shit in the beginning.
I'm pretty sure
there's an Arby's commercial in that.
Instead of having that bullshit fucking submarine sequence, I would have taken shameless Michael Bay levels of the pill product placement and just having Raim straight up be doing the whole, I'm the guy from Arby's thing.
And back to the ending for a second.
And no, when Ving Rhames tipped his hat.
That was the coolest thing he's ever done.
He looked back at Ethan and he's like, yeah, we're also here. It was literally the scene from 22 Jump Street. We're here as well also. And the nerds are all just helping in the last scene out of nowhere. I thought they weren't going to be in the movie again. I thought they were going to be pushed aside. Like Jerry Renner kept getting pushed aside for all those movies, you know?
Yeah.
And then he shows up and he just tips his hat to Ethan.
So fucking cool.
And I was just like, Ving.
You used to say it. And he turned around.
The guy from Pulp Fiction. And he said.
And he turned.
What? I fucked it up. I don't tell you, man. I didn't think you were going to.
Is this how it feels to be you?
Back to me, and you did, and I stumbled a little bit. It was your joke.
I didn't want to steal it. Is this how it feels to be you, to see me fuck up on everything?
A little bit.
God, it feels good for you.
Oh, that feels good.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I was going to say it feels good to be the king, but that was a better reference.
You crazy bitch whore. Oh, that feels good.
Back to the ending for a second, though, because it just abruptly ended part 1.
We should just honestly make a note whenever you stop talking about this. We can't finish the sentence. It just has to stop.
Fucking, it looked like he was showing the key to, I think, Simon Pegg. I forgot he was even with at the end. It needed another 20 minutes. But first off, he goes like this. At least with the mid-sneeze and just cut the black.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for starters. But I understand this is the part 2 coming out, so we're going to get the answer. But, like, is the blonde chick... I
don't know.
Is she dead? The one that got stabbed? Or she's going to be fine? She's going to make it out of here, champ?
Oh, Palm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope she's not dead.
What's happening with Haley Atwell? We haven't checked on her in the last, 3 minutes. Can we see what she's
can we go
doing
back to
now?
her, please? If you're not going to have Rebecca Ferguson on the screen at all times, you should probably have Haley Atwell on the screen at all times.
What's Grace doing? I get it. Tom's got
Oh,
the
you think
key.
it's actually her character's name, by the way?
I don't know. They all kept calling her
They kept
Grace.
calling her that, and like
She said, let's say Grace.
that's what I'm saying.
So it's probably
15
like
minutes into that movie,
Beth,
like the 6th time they said when it got dramatic, when it stopped just being like, "Hey, Grace," and Tom was like, "Grace," I was like, "Dude, her name's probably like Cynthia." All right, it's not Grace. She just said to you it was Grace, like in an offhanded way. And one more thing about that final sequence, though, with like the action sequence. Christopher McQuarrie is one hell of a director in the spot where he can be in a movie called Mission Impossible and make French fry oils seem like the biggest obstacle in the world. I was like,
panicking.
how are they gonna get through this French fry oil? The kitchen is the biggest obstacle yet.
Dude, when it spilled, and Haley Atwell almost like, oh my god, please don't burn yourself.
Dude, I was like, that's gonna hurt so bad. How are they gonna get out of this one? Okay, Ethan can handle getting shot, but getting burnt? A little singe of the arm?
Do you think we should have been dorks and said spoilers since we just listed the last fucking scene?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think we should have done that.
That's a good thing we're not dorks and didn't say anything.
It's also a good thing we didn't because it's too late if we what could have happened? You could be like, oh shit, you know, we could do one of those assholes who's like, hey guys, before the video starts, I just wanted to say to all you listeners, and it's like, don't break the fourth wall. Shut up. Don't show me a video of one quality and then insert footage of you after the fact looking like a piece of shit. Okay. It's disgusting. It's despicable. But again, French fry oil. The biggest threat Ethan Hunt's come across yet. It wasn't even, for a second, the train falling over seemed like it was the second biggest issue you had to worry about.
The only issue with the train thing was it's like, okay, that cart fell down. Okay, I get the second cart fell down. Okay, the third cart, fine.
I agree. The fourth cart, I was like, all right, guys.
I get it's still going, but like, can you guys, you gotta be able to move a little bit quicker.
Okay, what would you rather have? Would you rather have 4 train carts falling off? Technically 5, because the first one had 2.
Mm-hmm.
So would you rather have those carts all fall off one by one, or would you rather have it where it ended with Ethan Hunt doing the Aaron Taylor Johnson, in which one jumps onto a bullet train with a knife and stabs through it and then climbs the bullet train and gets their way back into the bullet train that's moving at 183 miles an hour? You know, to be honest, I'll take the 4 extra cars falling for dramatic tension over having the guy jump onto a bullet train.
I'm not arguing that it's not realistic that the 4 would actually fall off. I just meant like watching it happen 4 times.
I agree. It was like how many times you get the same trick, okay? You can't keep getting. I'm not gonna be whoa. It's like by the 4th time, it's like the masks. I guess I'm desensitized to it. I don't know, and I think there was also honestly overall less action in this movie altogether. But I also like the movie, so I don't really care because I thought the movie surprisingly handled all the different people chasing him really well and interesting. Where that was the fun part.
The movie's basically just 2.5 hours of a chase sequence.
But it's got Shea. Got Shea Wingham, the guy from Silver Linings Playbook, who I thought
awesome,
kicked ass. And if he doesn't join the group next movie...
Yeah, he has to be in the next one.
I like his buddy, too. I don't know who that guy is, but he was cool, too. I liked everyone in the fucking movie.
So did I.
You know how rare that is? Actually, that's not true. All the characters I forgot about, I didn't like.
Everybody we've made
Carrie
fun of,
Elwes was okay. Fucking the guy, deputy director Coxleave, wasn't a huge fan of him.
No. Weird, creepy guy that was actually Ethan the whole time.
Now that I know it's Ethan, it's fine. But those Russian guys sucked.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't like the animation of what the intelligence was. They just kept showing us this ominous circle. And like, okay, if you're not going to show me a little boy apparition like Terminator Genesis, what's the point of having an evil AI?
Yeah, or at the very least, hear its voice like at the end of that stupid fucking Luke and Hobbs movie.
Like in Terminator Genesis, when the little boy talks to them, he's all like, "Hello there.
Yeah, or like
I'm
that.
evil. I'm building a sandcastle. Now I'm a teenager and I'm angsty. Like he's aging so quickly."
I also hated the fucking Fiat part. That one bit where like there was a bit where
he's the James Bond car, Aston Martin.
No, I didn't mind that.
You get a Fiat. Fuck you. This is America.
The part where like they couldn't figure out how to start the car or some shit. There was a part where she was driving and they both were just like. There was a part that was like a 5-minute bit of jokes that nobody laughed at, and I was just kind of like, "Can we? This is the most uncomfortable joke to insert.
Yeah,
can we move on? This has already been a 45-minute sequence. Can we move on from this dumb joke you're trying to insert here?" Other than that, that movie kicked ass.
The movie did kick ass. The other thing I also reflected on afterwards was that I kind of feel like at this point, 1, 2, and 3 should just be considered its own trilogy.
Yeah.
and then 4, 5. I mean,
Fuck
maybe
4,
not.
it's
Maybe not
good, but
3 entirely, but like. I guess 3. I mean, 1 and 2 feel so disconnected from these movies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 1 probably wouldn't if 2 didn't fuck everything up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. 2 really did fumble the bag. Who would have thought Dougray Scott wasn't the guy? It was Esai Morales.
I could have told you that. Yeah,
Esai Morales. And again, you're thinking like, well, Bamba's brother, the guy from The Brink, the guy on Ozark. Yeah, that guy. He was the better choice over Dougray Scott.
That part though, where he like stepped the knife into the train and like did that superhero fucking swing down.
I think
shit.
Christopher McQuarrie was watching.
That was a little much.
It must be like a big X-Men fan. He was watching the Wolverines. Like that was awesome.
Tom Cruise could have done. I would have believed it.
Yeah, not Esai,
I don't believe,
who
that's what
looks
I'm
like a walking Gap model.
He does.
He looks like the father in every Gap commercial.
Actually, I think he is the father in all the Gap commercials.
That's probably I guess because I can't think of anything he did between The Brink and Ozark. So he must have like kept his wages up. He put his head down, was humble, said, you know what? It's fine. I'll just do some Gap commercials. I'll float by for a few years, still get a role for the movie.
Well, who plays Seth Green's dad in 70 Show?
The dead guy.
The funny guy.
What's his name? That guy.
I don't know. I never remember.
Tall
his name.
guy.
Point is though, he had that great gig with Old Navy, and Esai Morales was like, that's a great gig. I didn't get me one of those.
I'll do Gap.
Gap's. Everyone says Gap's basically Old Navy's biggest competitor. I'll show him who's boss.
The movie kicked ass though. It was also really cool seeing a movie with women being super badass.
Oh, and beautiful.
Not even that. I mean, that was like a cherry on top, I'd say. But the fact that it was just women being badass and not at any point did they feel the need to cut to some sort of a sequence in which it was one woman nodding her head to another woman saying, hey, that was a moment for women. This was just Rebecca Ferguson beating La Bamba up and like manhandling him.
Every chick kicked so much
She was
ass.
manhandling him until she inexplicably got stabbed. Same thing with when Palm was just absolutely beating the fuck out of Tom. And honestly, when Tom Cruise punched her in the stomach, I was like, bro, not only should you not hit a woman, but of all the ways you can die, is this that bad of one?
Yeah, I know. Her legs are up on your head, dude.
You die in the greatest mission apparently ever.
Yeah.
And you have Palms suffocating you with her thighs. It's like, how about you count your blessings, okay? Just go out peacefully, okay?
I would love it if that's how I went out.
Ethan Hunt, what sounds more of a nice end for Ethan Hunt, okay? That or, I don't know, 78 years old with a colostomy bag and his heart failure.
I take the legs around.
I think 61-year-old Ethan Hunt going down. If he's dying, he's trying, okay?
It's the way to go.
It's the way to go. It's the way I want to ask to go. It's the way I want to request. It's like how you eat your last meal. It's like I feel like when assisted suicide ever inevitably becomes like the norm, there's gonna be like recommendations like allow me dropped off a building with no parachute, just free fall off the Empire State Building, right?
That's I'm just gonna go out the way Ethan Hunt would go.
I'm like, I want to be suffocated between the thighs.
Oh yeah, you're right that way. I forgot. You said the whole fucking flying through the air thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try that because if I die, who cares? I'm dying.
It also made me realize that again, the whole you know what? I do need a woman. But I actually need a woman who is incredibly well-versed in hand-to-hand combat.
That's what it is.
Because, what if I get into some sort of situation-esque scenario where it's, me up against all the governments of the world and Esai Morales,
Dude, I'm signing up for
I'm going to need some gorgeous woman who knows how to kick ass and take names, all right? Someone who came here to do two things, right? One of those two things?
Chew bubblegum and kick ass. And we're all out of bubblegum.
Exactly, all right? So she can start kicking some ass. That's the thing. That's one of the things I didn't know about this movie. It taught me so much of the things I needed to know, okay? I need a woman who apparently can simultaneously have brown eyes and blue eyes. I need someone who's well-versed in all martial arts. And it can be also has to be a pickpocket.
But also
that's a new
put
thing.
It back.
And what did he say?
I thought he said pickpocket.
Now that you're a pickpocket, now you're a put pocket. And I was like, so was that like a pun? Or was that a thing?
Hey, is that the key in your pocket? You're just happy to see me.
Honestly, that joke should have come up somewhere in the movie. That was a missed opportunity. That would have been really funny.
Thank you.
And they could have even done the whole this one's for women, and they could have had like some super tall jack guy and have just the key protruding. Like, what is that? Your little dick, bitch. And then that could have been the moment for women all around the world. Like, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know. I also wrote down I wrote my predictions for 10 actors down who could be in the next movie. It makes perfect sense to me. Mm-hmm. Let's see if you agree. We'll go one by one quickly. Mm-hmm. Number one, who I think has to be the next Deputy Director Coxley, without a doubt, has to be Nick Offerman. Yeah. He'd be hilarious in this movie. Why would he need to be in it? I just think it'd be really funny to see him in it, right? Mm. Pretty good. Number two, thinking we've had a lot of beautiful women in these movies. We haven't had a redhead. Christina Hendricks makes perfect sense. Rebecca Ferguson's kind of a redhead. That's not relevant, all right? Don't hop off my dick, or don't make faces at me, bro.
I'm pretty sure the chick in the first movie had red hair.
Here's the most obvious one, okay?
Strawberry blonde, at least.
No. Here's the most obvious one. how the fuck is Nick Frost on these movies yet?
Yeah, I know, that's weird.
How is Simon Pegg, cocksucker, not once said to his friend Nick Frost, hey, buddy, I have this really steady thing going on since 2008 in which I appear in just every Mission Impossible movie. No one in a million years ever in 2008 would have said that guy's going to be in the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one. No, but it is. I prevailed, and you get nothing. You lose.
Yeah, sorry your career didn't have the same turn as me, and all you did was that stupid Snow White and the Huntsman movie.
Yeah,
sorry,
you
that's
have to
all
have a
got to
dumb
do.
TV show on AMC, bozo boy. Next person I wrote. Ready for this one? It's going to blow your mind. Rachel Shenton. Who's Rachel
I
Shenton?
have no idea.
Silly, silly boy. Rachel Shenton of White Gold fame.
Oh, not Haley
AKA
Atwell.
not Haley Atwell. Because think about that. Think about the marketing.
Grace, is this your sister Harmony? What's going on?
Think about the money they can save. They don't even have to do the facing. They can we've created a clone. Okay,
Nice.
that's how they end the movies. Instead of making it where they I have to wear a face, we're just gonna create a robot clone. And then she walks out and it's literally so genius, okay? The only next best thing would be if she actually had a twin sister. Because think about it, you could either spend, extra months having Haley Atwell play two characters to make that story happen. That's gonna take money and time and effort, right?
Got to save you guys $10,000.
It's literally the Bradley Cooper thing. It's like, I'm gonna save the studio $1 million right here. Check this out with a thumb. It's the same principle. So Rachel Shenton has in the next one, right?
Considering we watched White Gold and I was convinced she was Haley Atwell the whole time.
I think the whole world was, all right? I think when a lot of people found out, myself included, it kind of was like, I need a couple days of recovery to be like, wait, there's two of them?
Does she actually look just like her? Is this just
Yes.
one of those things where I'm remembering
Yes.
it completely wrong?
First off, British. That's all.
I don't know why I
One
question
for
it.
one, okay?
Yeah. That's all you need.
That's literally the one thing, all right? Fine. This is the same photo, okay?
And they have dark hair. I can attest to that. So you're right. It's the same chick.
Similarly, how I think Nick Frost should be tossed a bone by Simon Pegg, I'm demanding on this one. This wasn't even a suggestion. This is a demand. Jason Bateman. As Marty. As Marty Bird.
That's
Marty Bird is now, somehow they get involved with the Navarro drug cartel. And it turns out that's how they introduced the robot storyline. Marty's like, Dell? And he's like, no, that was my clone robot. Think about it.
That was the lesser model.
Actually, I'm Dell
Gabriel.
2.0. His name's Gabriel, wasn't he? Yeah. What a dumb name for a villain too. What's your villain's name? Ignatius. What'd you say?
Also, I thought that wasn't Tom Cruise leading up to this being like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie, but Emilio Estevez is actually coming back.
I thought so.
Then he keeps saying he wanted to bring him back.
I thought so. I'm waiting for it still. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I want Emilio back.
And why wasn't the fucking musketeer-looking guy from the last movie the villain? Why wasn't he back?
Yeah, I don't know. Or where's Wes Bentley? And where's Michelle Monaghan?
Where's Wes Bentley?
Logan Lerman, I thought would be cool.
Logan Lerman's the first one you said that I actually think would be really good in these movies.
These all been amazing choices.
And Haley Atwell's
Absolutely
sister. I agree with that as well.
Logan Lerman, they need to get a young guy in the movie, man. He seems like the perfect. Just have him do the Logan Lerman thing. It's that simple. They don't even have to write a character from it. Just have him come in there and be like, I'm all
Yeah, honestly,
awkward.
Tom Cruise just plays Tom Cruise. Just have Logan Lerman do Logan Lerman.
And if you can't get him and you want to make a shitty movie instead, get fucking the good doctor, Freddie Highmore, to come on and do the worst imitation of Logan Lerman. Since imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, except for your imitation's shitty and you're the kid from August Rush.
Dude, that's so insane you said that because what's his name? Freddie Highmore?
Yeah. What a douchebag name.
He really is like the Logan Lerman light.
Yeah, I know. No. It's worse than that. It's Logan Lerman, it's alcohol-free Logan Lerman, okay? It's not even light beer. It's just there's no alcohol.
This has no GMOs or preservatives.
Exactly.
In this one.
It's
also gluten-free.
Gluten-free beer. That's what it is. It's gluten-free, alcohol-free beer. That's what fucking Freddie Highmore is to Logan Lerman. I'm just going to speak on these last couple then, since you probably didn't agree with my list at all. Eva Green.
Okay, so see, now we're two for. So maybe just the first few
the first couple sucked. Okay, fine. Well, Eva Green, it's like she was already in Bond.
Yeah.
Just have her be in this one too.
How come they're not called the MIF girls? We have the Bond girls. There's an IMF girl.
Have
And
a little
IMF movie.
crossover, right? Next one. I thought British people, right? Since Tom Cruise, it seemed like his
John Cleese, you're thinking, right?
John Cleese. That's a possibility. I was gonna say.
He's also in Bond.
I was gonna say
There's
since they went. That's true. He is. That's crazy about that. That's wild.
He's a Q.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's rad.
I'm
Fucking.
rad. What can I say?
Since they had Tom Cruise 61 getting with a 41-year-old, I was like, well, obviously they gotta go even younger with the finale. Emma Watson,
Who's 31?
probably maybe somewhere around there. I thought because also in this universe they already cast Logan Lerman in the movie, so now it's Logan Lerman bringing on his friend Emma Watson. Because honestly, I get a little offended when actors don't do that more often. I kind of want all actors to only work with actors they've worked with before.
I agree. However, there are a certain group of actors that do, and they're the actors that need to stop doing it.
Like,
I can't give any examples,
Okay,
but like
on.
the whole the Seth Rogen crew.
I'm gonna say the last three, and then save one for the end. We can talk about the last three. Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like that'd be cool. I'd just like to see her be badass in a movie. That'd be cool. She's hot. She's cool. She's rad.
I don't know. Can we really have the first female action hero of all time?
First ever female action hero.
All these other female action
Cast the
heroes.
gauntlet over at her. It'd be awesome. Everyone would like that. At some point, Alexandra Daddario popped in my head. Feel like that felt just like this is the movie for her, honestly, to come in here and be like, now we get like.
Just like think of Percy Jackson.
Probably. Honestly, I didn't even make the connection till just now. So clearly, everyone I thought.
Is Pierce Bronson also on your list?
No, the last two are Timothée Chalamet, not because I want him to be in it, but because it's like some studio executive definitely going to say, hey, why don't we pass off it to a new Ethan Hunt? And it's Timothée Chalamet. Sounds like an actual thing a studio would want to do.
I know everyone says he's a great actor. I've only ever seen him in Love the Coopers, in which he's fucking terrible in. So I have no idea if he even deserves this acclaim or not.
Just to make a movie, just to cast him in it, just to not mention anything about his entire career until we're doing like the Cannes Film Festival. And then right before he's going to go up to speak and give his, about his amazing performance he delivered and blah, 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 blah. We have to be like, I'm a big fan of Timothy's. I saw him in one movie. I just knew he was the right guy for this part. And he's like, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? What's he going to say? And then he's like, saw him in Love the Coopers. And then he's going to just drop all of his confidence, go out there and just stumble and fucking ruin his entire career of all the shame he feels. Like, he saw me in Love the Coopers. I wasn't even going to. That movie so. This is what? He's just going to fall to the ground and clap. And my last suggestion. This one's out of left field here, right? This one, I think, is about as funny as casting Carrie Elwes in the movie. It's one of those funny choices. It's like, let's do something ridiculous and cast Men in Tights, all right?
That was pretty funny.
Kevin Dillon.
Yeah, dude.
Kevin Dillon, hear me out, though. Here's why. Kevin Dillon is playing someone who got into the IMF around the same time Ethan did. And we do like a whole 15-minute sequence of full extensive de-aging process to have young like 80s crews, like outsiders crews, not even risky business, like outsiders, dumb crews, okay? And we get fucking Kevin Dillon at any stage of his career who looks like a dumb, but specifically you get the like that movie of him like that horror movie from the 90s or whatever, where he's like 18, 19, looks like a fucking demon, okay? That weird looking face. You get that one, he's like, we gotta get out of here. And like, it turns out like he thought he was dead this whole time and he was like his buddy who left and now he's running the whole organization. Man, that's how funny it'd be if this all ends with Kevin Dillon being the big bad.
What East Summer House, he's like, maybe I have a boss, maybe I am my boss. Maybe, who knows? I work for someone, I work for me. I don't know what I do. Maybe the person he might work for is Kevin Dillon in the next one.
Anyone who's Kevin Dillon's bodyguard?
Give me the rest of us.
Jerry Ferrara.
All right, that makes more sense.
Think about that now. You want Mark Wahlberg looks like he wants to bring Entourage back? What better way to hype up Entourage by Mark Wahlberg's one of the big actors in Hollywood. He's someone who can probably just text Tom Cruise if he wants to. Go to Tom, say, hey Tom, you ever heard of a show called Entourage? I got this phenomenal idea for it.